robandan.tv/live. We're getting into it, folks. Northern Fjords DPA versus the Mad Hatters. Oracle, tell us about the map.
Let me see here. I missed it. There we go. Northern Fjords. Northern Fjords, very wide and open. It definitely is a map that complements many different playstyles. Sniping, absolutely relevant. But you can also do a lot of brawling using the clouds to come in from low or high. Very high flight ceiling also complements the brawling very well.
Alrighty, getting into the loadouts here for DPA. The first ship is the Deadpool Airlines, piloted by the real Deadpool. Hades flak on the front. I'm a big fan of the Hades flak setup. Great mid-range hull and armor break there for you, with a Banshee and a flare support. Also, we have the Edison, piloted by Marza. It's a Hwacha fish, a Hwacha goldfish, with a Gatling cannon and a flamer for support. Oracle, tell us about the Mad Hatters.
For the Mad Hatters, we have the Midnight, a Pyramidion being piloted by Catherine Scarborough, formerly Rammer. Gat mortar forward with a flamethrower and flare on the port side. Pretty standard loadout. And aboard the Moonlight Shadow, a goldfish being piloted by Mr. Wildcard. We have a carronade on the front with a Gatling on the port side and a flamer on the starboard.
They brought that carronade fish to their game against Overwatch last week, and they absolutely capitalized the crap out of it. I have never seen, well, I shouldn't say that, because I've seen a carronade fish be extremely successful in competitive games before, but that, I dare say, took the cake for one of the best performances a carronade fish I've ever seen in competitive.
Not too darn bad. Hades landing in the balloon, doing a little bit of splash damage onto the hull, but nothing they can't deal with. Flare goes out, going to make sure that everyone is revealed. The Mad Hatters, they really want to get in here. They want to close distance with that Hades Echidna.
Oh, Edison losing their balloon. The carronade on that blender fish was just barely in range, and they pick apart the Edison. He's gonna drop like a rock.
Heavy Clip doing some serious work. Midnight closing in on the Deadpool Airlines. Its armor's doing okay. They're moonshining in. Deadpool Airlines desperately trying to back up. But once that Gat Mortar gets in range, there it is. Armor's going to go down very quickly. It's already taken a little bit of harass. Armor's down. Mortar comes out immediately. Hull's getting shredded. Can they finish it? Armor comes back up just in time. Ram going to help a little bit as the Gatling goes down. Armor down again. Where's the mortar?
Oh no, we got
not
bumps.
quite there.
We got bumps on the jet side of things.
The Moonlight Shadow going to stop the Midnight from getting the kill, but they're within arming time. Deadpool Airlines can't really do a whole lot right here. And I think they'll go down, maybe. Edison having a lot of trouble helping its ally.
This is exactly what Deadpool Airlines didn't want to get involved with in this situation. The Hades flak is great, but the big problem is that the Hades has an arming time on it. It doesn't do its secondary damage within a certain range, and it's pretty debilitating when it comes to breaking hull. It looks like the Mad Hatters rather, have turned on the Edison. They are focusing their firepower pretty darn well in this situation. Now they've actually split off. I didn't like this. No, I spoke too soon. It looks like Midnight is turning off to deal with Deadpool Airlines, but that arming time range has been fixed, that problem rather. And Midnight is getting hit pretty hard.
Yeah, right now, I think the Midnight, all they have to do is close distance. Deadpool Airlines, too low to really do anything. Midnight put itself in an awkward position, and now it's going to try to back up. But the Deadpool Airlines moving over to the Moonlight Shadow. That broadside is facing to the DPA, Deadpool Airlines. And so they're going to have an easy arc. If they can get it. Flamethrower coming out, but they're coming too close.
I understand why. Oh my goodness, Deadpool Airlines pressuring the Midnight Shadow,
hydrogen.
but there's the Hydro. Beautiful Hydro.
Gonna get them out of the way as the Midnight again tries to close distance on the Deadpool Airlines. Airlines still focusing down the Moonlight Shadow, but I think that it may be to their detriment. Gatling going down on the Deadpool Airlines. 10 armor.
They're
holding
gone.
on the Moonlight Shadow. They're fine.
First point.
Moonlight Shadow doing fine.
First point goes to the Mad Hatters. Amazing job focusing and buckling down and scrambling, I gotta say, really well on the part of the Mad Hatters. Getting a little bit of lag there, folks. Apologies for that. Hopefully that's not on the camera as well. It looks like BFS versus Sacrilege ended in a tie, 0-0.
Wow. I don't think that's going to affect the rankings terribly much. So I think it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Getting underway. Edison has backed up. It's taken a little bit of damage. Moonlight Shadow is damaged from that engagement as well. Hades coming out right now. The DPA, they are in the position they want to be right now. I mean, the Hwacha coming out on the Midnight. Deadpool Airlines has plenty of distance. And now the onus is on the Mad Hatters to close distance. Moonlight Shadow going to try to disable the Edison before anything else happens. Midnight charging in at the same time. Armor's holding just fine. This approach is perfect.
Midnight's getting in range there. That Gat Mortar is going to start ripping the DPA, the Deadpool Airlines rather, apart. Midnight is simply not taking enough damage from that Hades flak to be thrown off in any way, shape, or form. And Edison, because that Carrowfish keeps blasting its balloon to shreds, they can't do anything. They cannot assist the DPA. And with the kind of range we're dealing with here, the Midnight versus the Deadpool Airlines, that Gat Mortar simply automatically wins. It automatically wins in this situation. There goes the Deadpool Airlines 2-0 for the Mad Hatters.
Yep, that time they did not overshoot that. They didn't go for a terribly strong ram. They just said, you know what? We need to close distance. We're going to play this by the book. We don't need to ram. We're just going to grind you down. In the meantime, Moonlight Shadow completely getting the better of the Edison and locking it down. This is exactly what the Moonlight Shadow needs to be doing.
They're doing an amazing job. I got to say, Mad Hatters, they've had to put themselves back together after a week 3 dilemma where they had to forfeit a match because they weren't able to put together a full team. They've come back so strong since that point. Edison taking immense amounts of damage. Midnight gets the Gat Mortar kill. Deadpool Airlines is moving in way too close for its arming time to deal with. I believe he was trying to save his ally, but just very poor decision-making on his part there.
We have a name for this. The meat grind.
The meat grind.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have the spawn in. Edison's going to spawn in right there, so it's not going to be a terrible meat grind. But the Deadpool Airlines is still trying to get its guns in arc on the Midnight, but it's going to be way too close. Edison got to turn pretty darn quick and disable the Midnight because the armor is down on the Deadpool Airlines.
Deadpool Airlines is just
holy cow
together by a shred. We need to see that Hwacha going out from the Edison right now, but it's not happening.
No, fire's going down on every engine of the Edison. The chem spray cycles were not there yet. Deadpool Airlines goes down 0-4. Mad Hatters really running away with this game.
Again, I believe we've had some very poor decision-making on DPA's part. The aggression and the scramble we've seen from the Mad Hatters has been exceptional. The Carronade fish has been critical in this win. The disables on the Edison have taken the Hwacha completely out of the game. Those Hwacha bursts we're seeing right now are some of the first real solid contacts that Hwacha has made on anything.
But no disables. The Midnight and the Moonlight Shadow want to go on the Edison and try to finish this. But the Midnight is turning. Its armor not doing so great right now. The Hades doing quite a number on it, but the Edison is taking fire. It's showing the broadside. Where is it? It's not there. Flamethrower going to go out, going to disable it a little bit more. Fires all over. Midnight showing its broadside to the Deadpool Airlines. It's got to get this kill on the Edison quick, or it's going to get its whole shredded by the flak. There it is. Bloop. Moonlight Shadow in a really bad spot right now. I feel like the Mad Hatters changed up their play when they didn't need to. They just wanted that last kill. They got greedy, and so they're going to give up one kill. The Moonlight Shadow has an opportunity to get out here. The Deadpool Airlines very low. The Edison has no real way of stopping the Moonlight Shadow.
I think a poor decision was made when the Mad Hatters decided, we're just going to target the Edison. He must be hurting. The front nose cone looks a little shaky. Obviously, the model does change as the permahull takes more damage for any ship in the game. I think that was a bit of a mistake. I would much rather have seen them just continually grinding down the Deadpool Airlines, because the Edison, while it may not be able to deal with that brawling any better, certainly if they're not on the Deadpool Airlines, that Hades flak is going to eat something alive.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I mean, that's what happens when you don't pay attention to the Hades Echidna. I mean, it has the arming time, and that's sort of the danger of running it. But if you leave it alone for a second, then it does a ton of damage. I mean, the Echidna, ever since the buff, it's been performing amazingly. The Hades has been a strong gun for a very long time. Look at that. Carronade takes out the Huacha. Is that Echidna?
Midnight
going down.
Midnight coming in on Deadpool Airlines. Gatling ripping that armor to shreds.
Almost down. They have to reload, but they're going to be able to finish this. They're following the Deadpool Airlines up. Mortars easily an arc. Oh, they're camping the hull. Deadpool Airlines desperately trying to stay alive right now. Moonlight Shadow just loading that carronade into the hull. There's one in the balloon just to lower its vertical mobility so the Midnight can go in and clean up. 5-1. Hatters take it very convincingly.
Mad Hatters take it 5-1. Their scramble was some of the best I have seen from them in a long time. If the
I'm happy.
Yeah, if the Mad Hatters can keep this up, they have a very serious team on their hands.